The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. BPL says if you've noticed a higher electricity bills because you're using more electricity. 55 lose their deposits from the general election, and more of the breakdown on how we voted. And in light of the recent traffic fatalities in the country, we are talking with the Bahamas Driving School Association today. That's all straight ahead. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, July 3rd, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Alexis Burrows will be joining us. That's all straight ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, a Supreme Court judge has ordered the continued remand of a man accused of the murders of the son of a jailed drug lord and the brother of a reputed gang leader for his safety. Justice Wilmina Archer said Wednesday that Rashawn Wallace faced a heightened risk of retaliatory violence if admitted to bail, given the ties of his alleged victims. Prosecutors allege that Wallace, otherwise known as Shawnee, is responsible for the March 11, 2022 shooting that claimed the lives of Theodore Knowles, the son of Samuel 90 Knowles, and Vernal Boss Stubbs, the brother of the alleged leader of the Tiger Nation. Prosecutors allege that Wallace is a member of a rival gang. He's denied the claims of gang affiliation. Archerman saying that gang activity and revenge retaliation are real live issues that cannot be ignored by the court. Wallace was shot days after the murders in a suspected act of revenge. He has been in custody for over 4 years awaiting trial. A scheduled trial date of June 1st did not happen because pathologist reports are still outstanding. The judge urging the prosecution to secure the report so that the case can proceed in August. A disabled man who is facing an armed robbery and attempted murder charge will remain free until his constitutional motion is heard. Justice Lauren Klein extended the interim relief granted to 33-year-old Carlos Butler on June 3rd after scheduling a trial for August 27th and 28th. Butler was left confined to a wheelchair after an off-duty police officer shot him during an alleged armed robbery on April 24th. After the shooting, Butler was taken to the Princess Margaret Hospital and remained there until May 8th when he was interviewed and charged by the police. He was remanded to prison on May 11th after making an initial court appearance. Butler, who requires continued medical care that is unavailable at the prison, filed a constitutional motion alleging that his continued detention would infringe on his right to life and protection from inhumane and degrading treatment. While housed at the prison, Butler relied on other inmates for help with mobility and personal hygiene. He was held in a cell that lacked bedding and bathroom facilities. Klein ordered Butler's release on June 3rd after finding that his continued detention in a place that could not provide adequate medical facilities and treatment required for his conditions constituted inhuman or degrading treatment in contravention of Article 17 of the Constitution. A 24-year-old man has denied having an unlawful sexual relationship with a minor. Jamal Naissance facing 2 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse when he appeared before Magistrate Abigail Farrington yesterday. Prosecutors allege that Naissance had relations with a 15-year-old girl who could not legally consent. The incidents allegedly took place on May 27th to 29th, 2026, and on June 25th. Farrington set a trial date for October 8th. She'll hear a bail application today. 55 of the 140 men and women who were candidates in the May 12th general election getting their $400 deposits back, including 3 F&Ms, 34 COIs, and 18 independents. In accordance with Section 3715B of the Parliamentary Elections Act, if a candidate does not poll more than 1/6 or 16.67% of the votes cast, their election deposit will be forfeited to the public treasury. That means $22,000 will be forfeited after the recent election. The 3 F&Ms won't get their deposit back: Heather McDonald, who received 13% of votes in Eglinton, Darvin Russell, who got 13% in Centerville, and Jamal Was, who received 16.3% of the votes in St. Barnabas. No independent candidate, as we said, will get their deposit back. More on that in today's NASA Guardian. And Prime Minister Philip Davis emphasizing the urgent need to tackle climate change, highlighting how extreme heat is affecting the cost of living nationwide. His comments coming at the 4th Annual Bahamas Youth Climate Conference at the University of the Bahamas. He said that the Department of Meteorology in May and the Ministry of Health were already warning of heat index values between 102 and 108 degrees Fahrenheit. He said that by mid-June, that range had climbed to 102, from 102 to 110, and BPL had pointed to the strain alongside equipment faults as a factor to outages. He noted that climate change has caused erosion to the Bahamas' coastlines, extensive coral reef bleaching, and warmer ocean temperatures. Prime Minister says that the government is actively trying to combat climate change. And the Prime Minister also saying that work on the National Bazaar in Grand Bahama is moving forward. In February, the government moved a resolution in the House to borrow $1.8 million to begin the development of the Afro-Caribbean Marketplace and Logistics Center in Freeport at the site of the old bazaar. The government signed a memorandum of understanding with the African Export-Import Bank in 2023 and signed a project preparation facility agreement in 2024. He told reporters yesterday that the work is moving on. He said, quote, "The Minister of Grand Bahama has more specifics, but I know that it is, from my perspective, seeing it generally, it is moving." Overseas, Iran preparing today for the days-long funeral of the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, with banners across Tehran urging the public to rise up in support of the Islamic Republic after the devastating war that killed the 86-year-old cleric. The country's theocracy plans to see millions flood the streets of the capital beginning Saturday in scenes reminiscent of the burial of the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini in 1989. that could provide a boost for Iran's government, particularly as it tries to leverage its hold on the Strait of Hormuz, negotiations with the United States over a permanent end to the war, as concern still lingers that Israel could attack yet again. And despite severe fuel shortages across Russia, President Vladimir Putin appears unbothered by Ukraine's increasing attacks on his country's oil refineries. He shrugged off the setback for one of the world's leading oil-producing nations as not critical, his words, dismissing ceasefire proposals and insisting that the war will continue until his goals are met. Putin has described the attacks on Russian energy as an effort by Ukraine to distract attention from its losses on the battlefield, although analysts say the advance of Russian forces has been stymied in recent months. The Russian leader appears to believe his government can keep the fuel crisis from eroding his authority and support for the war that he launched more than 4 years ago. The Russian military unleashed a massive 11-hour barrage on the Ukrainian capital overnight that killed more than 30 people. It was one of the deadliest attacks on Kyiv since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion. And Venezuela's U.S.-backed President Delcy Rodriguez Thursday issuing a fiery defense of her government's response to last week's devastating earthquakes, lashing out at critics who say authorities reacted too slowly, pushing back on suggestions that the true death toll is far higher than the government has acknowledged, and rejecting accusations that the nation's shoddily constructed social housing exacerbated the disaster. The self-described socialist government of Rodriguez, striving for legitimacy months after the United States removed former President Nicolas Maduro in January, has come under fire for what residents have described as sluggish and haphazard responses to the quakes. Residents of the hardest-hit state, La Guaira, have complained that the initial absence of a serious government search and rescue operation left them alone to scour for neighbors and loved ones with their bare hands. Rescuers have lamented the country's shortages of specialized equipment. Experts have warned that substandard construction of social housing projects left neighborhoods vulnerable to quakes.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, the countdown has reached 0 and the wait is over. The Bahamas' senior men's national basketball team all set to take on Jamaica tonight in the first game of its 2-game homestand as the squads look to advance to the second round of the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup Americas qualifiers. The home team's heavy hitters, including NBA players Valdez V.J. Edgecombe Jr., Eric E.J. Gordon, and Chavano Buddy Hield, expected to represent the country starting tonight. Again, that's going to be happening at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. You can purchase your tickets online starting at 8 o'clock tonight. From the World Cup, Portugal rallying to beat Croatia 2-1, advancing to the round of 16. And from the NBA, Jaylen Brown says he is still processing how the trade agreement that went down that will send the former Boston Celtics star to one of its most storied rivals, the Philadelphia 76ers. Brown, the 2024 NBA Finals MVP, a 5-time All-Star and the league's 4th leading scorer this past season, is getting traded by the Celtics to the Sixers. Boston's getting Paul George, along with a slew of draft capital that could become 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Brown writing on social media, quote, "I'm still processing how this all went down. I'm excited and disappointed at the same time. I I earned my respect from the city. I never asked for shortcuts or special treatment. I simply showed up every day, put my head down, and accepted every challenge. He said, the relationships I built here, the battles we fought here, the championship we brought to this city, and the connection I shared with the fans, I'll carry on with me. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. We've got weak surface troughing near the northern Bahamas. That's going to elevate the chance for showers and isolated thunderstorms across that part of the country. Elsewhere, we're looking at the influence of weak high pressure, and that's going to maintain hot, humid conditions along with gentle to moderate breezes. At the same time, Atlantic moisture embedded within a prevailing wind flow may trigger a few quick passing showers or isolated afternoon thunderstorms, particularly during the peak daytime heating hours. For today, there is a slight to moderate risk of rip currents along Atlantic exposed beach lines, coastlines, and that will continue for the next couple of days. And again, we're looking at the UV index in the very high to extreme range and the heat index in the triple digits again. Your forecast for today: for the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, and the central Bahamas, partly sunny, a bit hazy, becoming mainly fair tonight. A 10 to 30% chance of isolated showers with thunderstorms. The extreme northern islands, including Grand Bahama, looking at partly cloudy and hazy conditions today, becoming partly cloudy at night, with a 30 to 40% chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms. The southeast Bahamas, partly sunny, becoming mainly fair tonight. Only about a 10 to 20% chance of stray showers and possible afternoon thunderstorms. Winds south-southeast to south-southwest at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times for the extreme northern islands. Southeast to south at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times for the rest of the northwest Bahamas. East to southeast at 10 to 15 knots for the central islands, and easterly at 15 knots with higher gusts for the southeastern Bahamas. High temperatures today. Look for highs around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index making it feel like it's 100 Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius. The extreme northern islands, because of the cloud cover and rain chances, looking at highs around 88 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius. Still going to feel a lot hotter than that, though, with the heat index as high as 100 Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius. Overnight lows across most areas around 80 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have an extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
wake up, it's a new day.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Whether you're 25, 45, or 65, financial security is important to you. It's important to FamGuard too. And whether you're starting your career, growing your family, or expanding your investments, the FamGuard group of companies has the products and expertise to meet your needs. Life and health insurance, home and auto coverage, pensions and annuities, investments, and mortgages, all backed by the company's reputation for financial strength and reliability. Visit your nearest FamGuard office or FamGuardBahamas.com today.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located at the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
The Progressive Jackpot is on fire at Everybody Wins Live. First, a player won over $20,000 in cash. Then, another player took home over $30,000 in cash. That's more than $50,000 in jackpot winnings already. Now, the jackpot has reset and is growing again. With a minimum $10 bet, you could be eligible for the next big win. Lottery, casino, and sportsbook. Only at Everybody Wins Live, where winnings live.
Mic drop.
No budget for a vacation this summer? No worries. We got you. Guardian Radio 96.9 will fly you and a guest to South Florida for a vacation of a lifetime. Our sweet summer escape gets you round-trip tickets on Bahamas Air. $1,000 spending cash, thanks to Percy's Island Games. Brand new luggage from Brass and Leather. 4 days and 3 nights at the beautiful Holiday Inn Express Plantation. Free car rental from Hertz, too. All you need is your passport. We got you covered. Enter now for the Guardian Radio 96.9 Sweet Summer Escape. Fill out the form in today's Nassau Guardian and follow us on all social media platforms. Remember, you must be 18 or older to enter. Entry deadline August 12th, drawing August 14th. Taxes not included and certain restrictions apply.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
Get ready to experience the sights, sounds, and flavors of Bahamian culture with the return of Gombe Summer Festival across the islands of the Bahamas. Follow Tourism Today Bahamas for festival dates and the latest updates. The road to Gombe starts now.
Yes, we go and go. Yes, we go and go. Come, let's spend that day. Everybody say, we go and go, babe. Come, let's go, babe.
Headed to South Florida soon? Holiday Inn Express in Plantation welcomes you to the heartbeat of Florida fun. Whether it's business or pleasure, the Holiday Inn Express is close to sensational shopping, captivating dining, and nightlife. Elevate your Florida experience. Sleep well and rest easy at Holiday Inn Express. Complimentary breakfast buffet featuring seasonal favorites. Keep up your fitness routine in our 24-hour on-site fitness center with cardio equipment and free weights, or take a refreshing swim in our outdoor pool. Your special Bahamas tourist rate awaits. Holiday Inn Express, 1701 North University Drive, in Plantation. Book your getaway now. Call directly at 954-472-5600 or the sales department for reservations and additional information.
At
CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
The unsung heroes give us pride in the present, hope for the future, and most importantly, become living examples of the best that we can be.
CIBC Caribbean wants to reward the unsung heroes in our communities. Do you know someone who's been doing outstanding work in their community or performed an extraordinary act of heroism, bravery, or kindness in the last 12 months? Nominate a hero today. Go to CIBCCaribbean.com to learn more.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
Wendy's has brand new chicken tenders, and they're everything you've been craving. Crispy, juicy, and seasoned just right. These tenders bring the flavor from the very first bite. Dip 'em, dunk 'em, love 'em. With sauces like sweet chili, scorching hot, ranch, honey barbecue, honey mustard, and Wendy's signature sauce. Grab them as a kid's meal. Enjoy them on their own, or make it a combo that hits the spot every time. For tenders you're gonna know by name, it's gotta be Wendy's.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us, because we've got you covered.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Or text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC, 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me, as he does on almost all. First Fridays each month, we've got Alexis Burrows with us. Good morning.
Good
to have you
morning.
with us.
Happy to be here.
Wonderful stuff. It's Bahamas Pride Day.
I tried.
You came very close.
Yeah.
So everyone's being encouraged to wear their flag colors today.
My yellow is right.
Yeah, that's good.
gold.
That's pretty good. So we're all in our flag colors. Hope you are as well. And happy Bahamas National Pride Day to everybody out there today as we gear up for election. For independence. Wow.
That's because you have the candidate.
I don't know that.
The candidate.
Yes,
photos
let's
on our
hope that's
page.
why it is. Independence. Yikes.
Listen, I'm
Independence next week.
I don't have nearly enough Independence colors for the every Friday, the 1st of July. I'm like, I have to start my Independence colors clothing game up.
You got to have one more for Independence Eve or Independence Day.
So you have Independence Sunday, and then you have, if you're going to the tattoo, then you have for that, and then you have Independence Day itself.
Day.
Yeah.
So,
and then, if you, this is why I try not to get the shirts that have like 50, 51, 52, because then it's like,
don't have the year on.
Because then they're like, so you were in the old shirt then. Granted, the
you
shirt,
could say it's retro.
The design, well, that's true. But the designs are so like specific and unique year to year. You will know, okay, so that's like 2 years ago.
Don't worry
right?
about that.
But yeah, no, Independence is coming.
Yeah. Independence is coming, yes, nothing else. So we're going to talk about, yes, in the paper, we got some information from the PRD about the general election that just passed, and we'll get into that this morning. But also, in light of the tragedies we're seeing on the streets and chaos just almost every day, pictures, videos, or you witness it yourself, car accidents or people driving like they've lost their minds. We're going to be talking with the Bahamas Driving School Association. They're going to be joining us this morning. So a lot to get to on this Friday, first Friday of July, 2026. But let's talk about what else is in the news. And in the news, the big headline in the Nassau Guardian, 55 lose deposits. 3 F&Ms among those who won't be getting their $400 election deposits back. Wow. And all the COIs. Is that what they're saying? Or most, is it? No, not all, but most. Most. Wow. We're going to get into that in just a bit. That's going to be... people have a lot to talk about, a lot to say about that in just a bit. Just a couple other things in the papers, though. Interesting headline in the other paper. The lead story, that's an interesting choice. I don't know why it had to be the top story, but okay. Monroe, that's AG, Attorney General Wayne Monroe, changed the name of Columbus Primary School.
In July, right?
Attorney General Wayne Monroe says he would be surprised if Columbus Primary School stirs Christopher Columbus's name in a year or two, reviving a long-running push to replace colonial-era symbols with honors that better reflect Bahamian history. I mean, I totally support this. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, right? But, again, interesting choice for top story.
Do we consider Columbus a part of Bahamian history or no?
We have to, whether we like it or not.
Okay.
This is the country that he first inflicted his...
No, I get it.
Carnage.
It's an interesting space. What would we change it to?
Anything but Columbus?
No, you have to have a plan, right? Because otherwise, what this is just talk, right? What is the plan? What will be the process?
I don't think we're that far ahead
Do you
yet.
have candidates? No, just get straight to it.
They've been naming schools after people who've been
for a very
significant,
long time.
right?
Mhm.
And so I guess that will continue. Educators or somebody
Politicians.
Maybe if they were educators.
Columbus Primary is on Collins Avenue, right?
And Wolf Road,
Yeah, they can name it after Prime Minister Christie. That was his constituency. I'm just trying to go to solutions. Like no, yes, maybe.
I'm not saying anything. Monroe told the wow. Monroe, I'm a little. Alexis has me lost for words. Monroe told the Tribune he supports changing the school's name. His comments follows a years-long debate over whether public institutions should continue honoring Christopher Columbus, the explorer whose statue was smashed outside Government House in 2021 and removed the following year. He raised the prospect in the Senate after Senator Rick Fox asked about the Columbus statue that once stood there outside the Government House building.
But he didn't know that they knocked it down?
I'm not sure. But Monroe said, quote, I think the Bahamas, I would hope, I think the Bahamas should stay tuned to see if there is a Columbus Primary, if Columbus Primary survives this administration. Wow. So the Columbus statue, I'm told, is at the Ministry of Works. It would be a matter to see if Columbus Primary survives this administration.
The name, let's be clear. 'Cause
Right.
When you
The
say it
name.
like that, it sounds like, is the school going to survive? But I think he means just the name of the school. I would presume.
Although you never know. The Tribune understands former Education Minister Glenn Santa Martin had initiated a push to rename the school. Yeah. The issue resurfaced as senators discussed the fate of the Columbus statue, which was damaged in 2021 and removed in 2022. As you may recall, Shevardnadze, what was his name? Shevardnadze, also known as Michael the Archangel Smith, was convicted in 2023 for smashing the statue.
Yeah, with you. Oh. You know what's funny?
Wow.
I actually remember driving past there and seeing, like, when that happened, and I'm like, what is this person doing? And
you were driving while that was going on?
Like, I drove past, saw someone, like, at the statue, and then, like, an hour later, the videos were going around, and I'm like, somebody really went and, like, jacked up the statue.
Okay.
It's quite funny.
Wow, that's interesting. So also in the Senate, Senator Latrey Ramming said the Ministry of Works removed the Columbus statue and that there is an intent to repurpose and refurbish it. Repurpose it. He said no decision has been made on whether the statue will return. Senator Fox suggested that a statue of a Bahamian should replace the Columbus statue, naming Governor General Cynthia Mother Pratt as one possible candidate. Okay, what's going on in the Senate? What's happening? Are they okay?
No, I think you have to go further back. I feel like because you're thinking about somebody who, like, you have to go farther of the nation. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go in that direction. In my mind, if you're gonna because it's the idea of the start, the impetus, like independence. It has to be somebody in that era. In my mind, if you're talking about it from that standpoint.
Okay. But yes, we need to find some suitable place to put the Columbus statue. I don't think it's sensible to forget the history. That's what people have been saying. Put it in a museum.
Put it in a museum.
And, and acknowledge the controversy.
Right.
And acknowledge that people have been uncomfortable with this for a very long time, especially where it was.
Right.
You cannot bury your history. You can't hide it. You have to acknowledge it.
Yeah, so that's why I think, renaming the school is I think fine. But yeah, I don't think you just demolish everything because it is still a part of the history. Mm-hmm. So yeah, take the statue. I mean, you could even put it in, as it is to just represent the fullness of it, right?
Was smashed.
Yeah, because it's like, it represents the feelings at a time towards it. Like, I think there's ways you could approach that where you tell the full history of it and not just bury it, as though it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Let's get your quick reaction to it. No one spent too much time on it, but so it does seem likely the name of the school will be changed. How do you feel about it? Do you care? Let's
I want
talk.
to hear suggestions for names.
And suggestions for names. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. Tweet us. Facebook us. Text us. 422-4796. Maybe there is a principal who served the longest at the school. Maybe, I don't know. What's
That's true. You could tie it to the history of the school itself.
Yeah. As we get these calls, this texter says the school's name should remain. Why? Why do you think that? Why? What's the reason? Yeah. Let's hear from you. Caller, what say you? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Gentleman's name again?
Alexis.
Mr. Alexis, good morning.
Morning.
Hey, Dwight, I believe the Christopher Columbus name on that school should be changed, right? Because, and I don't normally agree with, I never disagree with Mr. Ryan Monroe. Right?
You never agree or disagree?
I never disagree with him.
Oh, okay.
Right, but this one time I can agree with him, right? That need to change, and a lot of names, and why they are changing that, they could change his cousin name, right? Shirley Street, right? You could change that name too, right? And then there's so much other street names they could change that represents the same thing he is saying, right? About Christopher Columbus, right? So I agree, and we need to start putting our identity all around this country because we have a lot of still colonial spirits, still all around us, and they only there to keep us down. You guys have a nice day.
Oh, interesting. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You are live on the air. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Brad.
Hi.
I think they should rename the school. Christopher Columbus really was a controversial person.
Indeed.
The history of the Caribbean, and I would like to see the school name changed.
Any
Also,
suggestions?
In addition to that, I've noticed over the years a number of armed robberies and murders happen on that park, on Christopher Columbus School grounds. I would hope that the government would try to electrify that whole area so that in the nighttime you have more light, because a lot of the residents use that area for shortcuts. So that's my 5 cents on this little matter. Just that's
Okay.
my view.
Any suggestions on what the name should be?
Something related to the neighborhood.
Mm.
Maybe Engliston Primary or we got a Palmdale Primary, but something. Name it after some famous Bahamian
Yeah.
educator.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate the call. Hey, the phone lines are lit up. Let's take another one. Good morning. You're on the air.
Dwight, good morning. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
And good morning to your guest in studio.
Morning.
Just a couple of things on the topic this morning. Quickly, the statues removal and replacement. I feel that the contribution of Sir Milo Butler is underrepresented in the honoring of our country. I know there's a bust of him far back in the square downtown. I think this would be a good opportunity to advance the first black Bahamian Governor General and perhaps consider putting his statue there. There are other very qualified Bahamians who can take that place, but he would be one of my choices.
Okay.
Since Mr. Monroe was so engaged in the debate of how we address this current issue, perhaps we should bring into discussion something that comes up quite regularly for me. I have visitors on a regular basis ask me, why are we so comfortable with the term British colonials sitting so boldly on Bay Street? Maybe we can find a more middle of the ground approach to that particular. That bothers me every day. It might not bother some other Bahamians, but it bothers me every day that I drive by and that sign British colonial is sitting there. And then finally, I am wearing my yellow pants today as a contribution to the Bahamas Pride Day. But there's something that's bothering me. I just came back from the airport, Dwight, and the airport road, among other corridors of this country, is filthy. I'm talking, there are strewn lampposts in the middle of the verges. There are trash on the side of the road.
Are you talking about JFK Drive?
Sorry?
JFK or Coral Harbor Road? Which one are you
This
talking
is JFK corridor all the way to the airport.
Yeah, okay.
As we turn off the airport road to go to the domestic terminal, I want to ask the person responsible for the airport that the entrance to the U.S. terminal should not be the only place that we upkeep. The bushes on that road as you turn off to go to the domestic is almost as high as your knee. That corridor is unkept. It is National Pride Day. I want to say to the people responsible for the cleanliness of this country, particularly the verges, that it's time to get with the program and clean up this country. There's no way we should be putting up Bahamian flags all over this country in the filth that it currently is in. Let's clean up the verges for Independence Day, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Quite a few things there. British Colonial, I mean, I don't think we can. That's a privately owned building. So they'd have to change their name. But
so let me step out on a limb here. I'm not defending anyone or anything, but the question I raise is, if we were to not name things after people, because they're controversial because there are controversial parts of their history, we would name nothing after anyone.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Like even Mother Teresa, there was questions after the fact about like, you know, the purity of this, that, and the third. So I'm just saying we have to be mindful that we don't go down this road of, because then when someone comes and says, well, such and such, there was drug connections during his time, and should we name this after that? That's the slippery slope we go down. So it's not in defense of anything, but at the same time, we have to be mindful that we don't get into it, because then we sanitize history and we take everything out of it, and then nobody's worthy of being recognized for anything.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. And also, I don't know if you can be really offended about something called the British colonial when all of your politicians swear allegiance to the king and all of his heirs and successors, and you have a governor general who represents the king of another country. So I think that's the least of your should be the least of your concerns when that's going on. But if you're happy with that on that side, then the name, what's the big deal? Caller, good morning. You're live. Hi, good morning. Let's take this call. Good morning.
Hey, morning, Dwight and your guest. How you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
Right on, man. Okay, what I don't get is, right, the removal of statues and historic stuff, right? Because not just because you remove it, that don't mean that it didn't happen, you know. Not everything in life that takes place is actually happy. But if you don't know your history, right, you wouldn't know your future. So why remove a statue? Everything controversial. Jesus controversial, Finland controversial. So what are we gonna place there? Everything, if you really look at it, is really controversial. Depends on the person who telling the story.
A statue that's erected in a public space usually means something more than something in a museum, right? So I think where you do place it means something. You can't ignore Hitler, but you can't have statues of Hitler all over the place. That would be a problem. And people can say Columbus wasn't Hitler. Oh, okay. Sure. But that's why where you place it means something. The fact that it's in a public space it says that, well, this person's respected and revered here, right? As opposed to a museum where you say, well, yeah, this guy here, boy. At first we used to love him, we named everything after him, but after a while we learned the truth when we found out more, and we realized that he killed everybody who we met when he landed in these places. Practically, especially in the Bahamas, died.
Wiped out.
So there's a problem. But you can't ignore it. Mm-hmm. You cannot. And like I've been saying forever, we totally have blown it as the first landing spot, right? That should be, the whole world should know this. Mm-hmm. Not because we're so proud of it, but just because, hey, this changed everything for this planet.
Yep.
And we were at the center of it.
Mm-hmm. Our tiny little country.
People talk all kinds of nonsense still about, Columbus discovered America. Huh? What? Who? What? But it was here, the Bahamas. And everyone across this planet should know this. Mm-hmm. And should make a pilgrimage. Everybody. We all should. Why not? Go to San Salvador or Cat Island, wherever it is. Right? At least once in your lifetime. And see how everything changed.
Yeah.
And encourage the rest of the world to do it too.
Yeah. But I think putting the statue in the museum is it makes the most sense.
Can you imagine if we were a real country, San Salvador or Canada, or both? You could say we don't know which one it was.
You make it an attraction.
Yeah, this would be the tourism center of the world.
Yeah,
if we had sense.
But if we took that approach, you could put it there. You could put the statue there.
You could,
right? And so you out. I don't know. You're right. I think there's things that we don't lean into enough, especially. So, like, you think you go to different places in the world. You go to Philly, there's a Liberty Bell. You go to Washington, D.C., you have all of the different monuments and things like that.
Absolutely.
I don't think we sell historical tourism enough as a country.
You know why?
And there's ways you...
Because we don't understand tourism. Yeah, the Bahamas does not understand tourism. We don't even know what it is.
Well, we sell it as sun, and sea, but it's like people will go specifically to certain. So people go to Paris. What does everybody do when they go to Paris?
They go to all the buildings and monuments and
You go to the Eiffel
museums.
Tower,
They go
you
to
the
everything.
Louvre, right? And so you're not necessarily just going like I'm going for the French food, or I'm just going to like lay up on the French Riviera. It's like
No.
that may be a part of it,
Yeah.
But where you get a full experience is when you engage with the culture
Absolutely.
and the history of the place.
Yeah.
I don't think we lean into that part of it enough.
We definitely don't. And own the controversy. This one says it's there. That one says it's there. The tour will include both islands. Spend 2 days in San Salvador. You spend 2 days and then 2 days in Cat Island, and you decide which one you think it is, or more, whatever. But what have we done?
But as I say, this is the issue with sanitizing history, right? You eliminate that, then you eliminate all of that as being a part of the conversation because we just don't want to talk about it.
It's insane. Any other country would have killed.
Yeah,
pardon the pun.
No, because you think about it,
killed
you have,
all
you have,
the natives to have what we have. Here.
Civil War reenactments that happen. You have Revolutionary War reenactments that happen. Like they lean into it. This is a part of the history, for better or worse. And then people spend money in the country, in the cities, in the states to go and visit these things and take
It's a
part.
no-brainer. Get on a boat and sail from Spain
that's
to the
issue.
Bahamas.
There's no brain.
It should be the capital of our tourism industry, but it's probably not even the top 10. Right? Both these islands.
Agreed. Lean into
I
it.
think there's even a third one claiming it. But own it all.
Well, you really didn't write down history well if we ain't sure which island it is. We gotta look that up.
I mean, blame Columbus. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. If you'd left some people behind, they could have told us. Hi.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, as far as we celebrating National Pride Day, right, and the flag colors, right, we still haven't gotten the flag colors right yet because we have people flying flags that are navy blue. I think the aquamarine is the hardest color to reproduce. And for years, even on government buildings, you'll see different shades of the flag flying even on government buildings. And I think it's an easy fix. There's a Pantone colors that is available from the cabinet with the flag colors supposed to be. Most of these stuff is imported into the country. Customs need to just check these boxes when the people importing these flags that are produced outside the country into the country and to check to see if the color is right. If the color is navy blue and all those other shades of blue, they should confiscate it. We still haven't gotten, like the gentleman said, he wearing a yellow pants. Our flag color is gold, not yellow. Okay? And as far as even with the gentleman saying, who responsible, the pride for keeping the place clean, that's all of us. See, as long as we keep handing off responsibility to somebody else, we can keep us in a dirty country because we believe the government and the government workers are supposed to come up and clean up behind us. If we ourselves don't throw the garbage out our vehicle's window when we drive it, we wouldn't have no need to have all these government workers to be going behind us picking up the garbage. It's pride. Self-pride that's what we need. We need self-pride first, individually and collectively. Our country will be better. We even still accepting orders from the British Empire, and Britain don't even have no empire. After 50-something years of independence, our government still is recommending people to get out of the British Empire. Britain still has an empire?
Definitely not what it was. Definitely not what it was.
But are we? They don't have no more empire, except couple countries who still underneath their guidance.
Well, they still have a king,
But,
and they
you know-
still have countries under them. So I think it.
Yeah,
technically
but I'm
is.
saying we accepting this British Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Britain don't even call themselves an empire no more.
Yeah, no, that's not a
Do
cool
they-
word anymore. You don't want to be that. But that doesn't mean they're not. That doesn't mean they're not. But thank you very much. Appreciate the call. We got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do.
I have a question while we're here.
Mm-hmm.
So, should we rename Prince Charles Drive the King Charles Drive? Have we had that conversation?
That came up. I mean, amongst the people, but not. But we haven't heard anything from the officials. I thought I'd heard that all the Queen's highways would become King's highways. Since we're still doing that. Caller, good morning. What say you? Hi, are you there? Well, okay, so maybe the Tribune's onto something. This might be a big story for real. Everybody wants to talk about this. Yeah. This texture says here the school's name should stay in place until they find high-ranking politician one, huh? Then they can bring the statue and the treasonous politician down one time.
I love your listeners. I love them.
So that'll never happen then. That's what you're saying. It'll be Columbus Primary forever.
Name it after
It doesn't seem we'll know who that is anytime soon. Replace Columbus with a Lucayan Indian. That's it, and that's all. That's a former student of Columbus Primary. Let's rename it after a former educator of Columbus Primary. No politicians, please. Yeah, I think that might be cool.
But you have politicians who came through education. Like you could double up there.
I think we've done quite a bit of that already. This person says they can change it to Dame Ivy Dumont Primary School, first female Governor General who was also Minister of Education and a superb educator.
See?
That's a good one. Arawak Primary, Lucayan Primary, what about that? This person says Centerville Primary. Oh, no, you already have a Centerville Primary. Perry G. Christie Primary.
Told you.
Oh, they're saying they rename that one that. And then rename Palmdale Primary, A.D. Hanna Primary, rename Yellow Elder Primary, Hubert A. Ingram Primary, and name Gambier Primary, Hubert A. Minnis Primary. Okay.
Good luck with that last one.
Maybe they'll move that school to the moon. Maybe. The 22...
They'll wear golf shirts.
The 22,000. Oh, this is about... We'll get to that in a bit. The deposits. Didn't the Saxons kill a lot back in their days? So if you support changing Columbus, then change the Saxons' Junction name to something else.
I think they're also a private organization. To your point about the British Colonial.
It's reaching now.
Like I said, we go down this road.
And I think that's what they want to be named because they will kill all their opponents, the Saxons, right? That's what they kind of want to suggest.
Is it?
No, I don't know. We'll kill them with the music. I don't know. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Okay. Another person here. There is a statue of San Salvador, of Columbus in San Salvador. There is? Or is it a plaque? But who we should know. We shouldn't even be guessing, right? We don't know what all there is about San Salvador and what they do to commemorate what happened in 1492. It's very sad.
Mass murder. Let's not go too much murder.
Only real Bahamians understand tourism, but those with blood on their hands who are living up to Columbus's reputation shouldn't be changing names. Whoa. What's the name replacement going to be? Politician number one? Not this again. Another person saying this.
I love it.
This person says, name it after Judith P. Thompson, the longest-serving principal. Yeah, perhaps. I think that's.
But it's like you have Mother Pratt was in education as well. I think
she was.
You have options. I think where you could kind of take that where it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know that we need to go and change everything, but yeah, that's that. You know, I actually thought the Angliston Primary wasn't a bad idea either, though.
Not sure if is that Angliston? I'm not sure. I think that could be in Centerville. I think that's literally in Centerville.
That's probably right on the edge of the boundary.
Yeah, I don't think it's technically Angliston. But hey, we got to go to the news. When we come back, we'll talk about some other things in the news. And again, we're going to be talking with the Bahamas Driving School Association as well. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. And now at 8:19, it's time for another check of your weather for today. Brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. So we've got weak surface troughing near the northern Bahamas. That's going to elevate the chances for showers and thunderstorms across that part of the country. Elsewhere, most of the country will remain under the influence of weak high pressure, maintaining hot, humid conditions with gentle to moderate breezes. And Atlantic moisture embedded within the wind flow may trigger a few quick passing showers or isolated thunderstorms during peak daytime heating hours. By Saturday, tomorrow, weak high pressure will become established across, just east of the islands, steering Atlantic moisture over the area. That's going to maintain an elevated chance for showers over the northern half of the country through the weekend. And then another surge of Saharan dust will spread into the southern half of the country by the end of the weekend, and the dust is going to reduce shower chances over the central and southeast Bahamas into the early part of next week. For today, there's a slight to moderate risk of rip currents along Atlantic exposed coastlines. And we're dealing with another day with heat indices in the triple digits, the UV index as well in the very high to extreme range. Your forecast for today, the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, and the central Bahamas, looking at partly sunny conditions, becoming mainly fair tonight, a bit hazy for the northwestern islands, with a 10 to 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. The northernmost islands looking at a greater chance for rain today, partly cloudy conditions, hazy, and partly cloudy tonight, with a 30 to 40% chance of isolated showers and thunderstorms. And the southeast Bahamas looking at partly sunny conditions, turning mainly fair tonight with only about a 10 to 20% chance of showers. It's going to be hot for most areas. Highs around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, with the heat index making it feel like it's 100 Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius. Overnight lows getting down to about 80 Fahrenheit, 26, 27 Celsius. The northernmost islands, again with the cloud cover and chances for rain, highs in the 88, 89 Fahrenheit range, 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. In your extended outlook for the weekend, partly cloudy to cloudy for most areas, but partly sunny for the southeast Bahamas. A 30 to 40% chance of showers for the northern half of the country. And that's going to increase to about a 50% chance of showers, 30 to 50% chance by Sunday for the northern half of the country, looking at partly cloudy conditions straight through to Monday, with still elevated chances for rain there and into Tuesday of next week. The tropics are quiet. Tropical cyclone formation are expected within the next 7 days. That's your Morning Blend weather check. Weather brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're looking to paint, your local Sherwin-Williams store has top quality paints, expert advice, and everyday discounts to help you save only at Sherwin-Williams. And it's time for a check of traffic brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. In your real-time traffic, we've got a few hot spots for you. We've got Mila Butler Highway looking busy from Fire Trail Roundabout straight through to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. That's heading northbound. You'll see that there. And north of that area, heading into New Providence Highway, you're going to see some slow-moving traffic as you approach the six-legged roundabout. Back to Tonic Williams Darling Highway, seeing heavy traffic in multiple directions. Westbound towards that roundabout with Mile Butler Highway, eastbound as well. And near Bahamas Games Boulevard, some congestion there, mainly eastbound, but slow-moving westbound traffic as well. Then we've got Blue Hill Road looking busy from Carmichael straight up to Independence Drive, especially north of Soldier Road, and that's mainly northbound. and pockets along East Street, northbound, also seeing some slow-moving traffic. Robinson Road not looking pretty at all from Prince Charles straight through to Marathon and East-West Highway, and that's mainly westbound. And Prince Charles Drive seeing heavy traffic, multiple directions, but mainly westbound at the major intersections. But there's a stretch near Beatrice Avenue not looking pretty for you at this hour. Some slow-moving traffic along West Bay Street near Saunders Beach and New Providence Highway, eastbound. And a bit of slow-moving traffic east of Arawaki heading into downtown Nassau near Nassau Street. Those are your hotspots right now. That's your real-time traffic. And your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Whether you're on the road or planning your next move, they've got you covered. Visit nuainsurance.com for an instant motor quote or stop by your nearest branch today.
Are you a tourism business owner or ready to become one? At the Tourism Development Corporation, we work with tourism entrepreneurs at every stage, turning ideas into thriving businesses and helping existing ones grow. From business development support and funding opportunities to targeted initiatives and strategic partnerships, we're here to help you take that next step. Build your future in tourism with the Tourism Development Corporation. Visit tdcbahamas.com to learn more.
Join us at Galina's Customer Appreciation Day, Saturday, July 4th at number 308 East Bay Street. Get free health screenings and sign up for the Galina Portal. Enjoy delicious food from Bar the Girls, Elevated Barbecue, and the Corn Roaster. Meet Fitness Connection and Bohemian Brewery and learn more about their products and their services. There's fun for the whole family with face painting, games, bouncing castles, crab catching, egg and spoon races, sack races, and more. And there will be prizes and giveaways. You may win a TV, phone, laptop, or a resort day pass. It's all happening Saturday, July 4th at number 308 East Bay Street. Come and join the fun.
No budget for a vacation this summer? No worries. We got you. Guardian Radio 96.9 will fly you and a guest to South Florida for a vacation of a lifetime. Our sweet summer escape gets you round-trip tickets on Bahamas Air. $1,000 spending cash, thanks to Percy's Island Games. Brand new luggage from Brass and Leather. 4 days and 3 nights at the beautiful Holiday Inn Express Plantation. Free car rental from Hertz, too. All you need is your passport. We got you covered. Enter now for the Guardian Radio 96.9 Sweet Summer Escape. Fill out the form in today's Nassau Guardian and follow us on all social media platforms. Remember, you must be 18 or older to enter. Entry deadline August 12th, drawing August 14th. Taxes not included and certain restrictions apply.
Change doesn't happen in sound bites. It happens when people come together and actually talk. The forum is that conversation, where Bahamians from all walks of life work through the issues that affect us all, challenge each other, and find solutions together. Every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. The Forum with Ricardo Wells. Coming this Saturday to Guardian Radio.
Schools Out Nassau and Burst Nassau, presented by Nassau Hollow at Marathon Mall, has your whole summer covered. Gather your crew and dive into Everworld, solve the mystery, save the universe, journey through the cosmos in Star Walk, or test your nerves in Trick or Treat. Think you're the best? Settle it in Primal Fighter or Astro League. Head to head, no rematches. The ultimate summer hangout is right here at Marathon Mall. You can find us on the web at NassauHollowworld.com. Walk-ins welcome. See you this summer.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves.
Yes. Real talk.
I'm not just saying this
Real talk.
to impress myself.
We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I gonna this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams, Bahamas, and you'll surely find color in every day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Alexis Burrows on this Friday morning. Coming up in a bit, we're going to be talking with the Bahamas Driving School Association. Just so many people concerned about the chaos we're seeing on the streets. People just don't seem to know the rules of the road, or worse, they don't care. But we're going to find out what needs to be done in terms of education to get things on the right track. We've got a few of your text messages from a previous conversation before the break to get to about changing the names of these colonial era buildings. Well, at least the names come from colonial eras, institutions, and whether that makes sense, whether you need to. Is there a better way to handle this? We'll get to that in a bit. The big headline in the Nassau Guardian, 55 lose deposits. That's from the general election. These folks didn't get the 1/6 of the votes required for you to get your deposit back, the $400 deposit back if you nominate as a candidate. Do we know why we do this? Because I think they should keep all the deposits. Right, you want to run? Okay, pay your money and keep it. Why do you have to get it back? What's the reason?
That's interesting. Why do you get it back if you win? Or I guess if you get more than whatever the thing is.
Okay.
Why not just let it go in the treasury?
Yeah.
It's $400.
The paper's saying that because of this, the Treasury got 22,000. But imagine there was 140 candidates. Nominate, and that's what you got to do. You won't get this money back. It's going to the Treasury. Great.
You said it was 100 and how much?
140. And all of them had to give a $400 deposit.
That's $56,000.
I don't know. I'm sure. I'm sure people know why, but I mean, does it relate to today?
Does this have to be news? It just feels like kicking people when they're down.
Oh well. We'll talk about it a little bit later. What I do want to get to is BPL telling you that if your bill is higher, it's because you're using more electricity. Well, thank you for that, BPL. But let me read these messages, then we'll get to BPL. So this person says here, let's stop swearing allegiance to the king and his successors, the King of England. Without the British, there won't be Bahamians. I don't even know if I... We don't have to respond to everything.
I'm trying to work through the logic of it.
By the way, I've been sitting on this story for a year. It's a good time to bring it up. So I was at the U.S. Embassy 4th of July. They do it a little before the time. Last week, right? Interesting event. I was there last year as well. So I was hoping to God that it wasn't going to happen this year. It happened last year, though. And it didn't happen this year. Thank you, dear God. But last year, Governor General, Dame Cynthia Pratt, gave a toast to the U.S. and the Bahamas and their relationship and, all the great things and blah, 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 wishing them a happy anniversary. And then said, with the, raise your glasses and said, happy birthday, America, whatever, and God save the king. I was like, oh, my God, there's no way. There's no way that you could be at an independence, a 4th of July independence event for the United States, and then say, God save, Governor General of the Bahamas, Dame Cynthia, God save the King of England? What? That's what the whole thing's about. Like what? What? And I almost dropped my glass. Like, what? Because I don't even know. I don't even want to hear it here, right? I don't want to hear anybody say that here. But not that I have any issue with Chuck. But I'm just, well, personally, I mean, I don't. But God Save the King, that was the wrong place, wrong time. But I didn't hear it this year because that would have been awful.
That would have been, that's not appropriate.
But what are we doing around here?
I don't know.
God Save the King. Okay, messages. This person said, someone says she meant the King of America.
Y'all silly.
That guy. Yeah, well. Maybe. It's quite possible. 2025, 2026, the world's changed a lot. Oh, man. Anyway, this person said, I understand the purpose, reason, significance of the name changes, but from a biblical and historical perspective, I am not able to comment on one's personal decision on doing so. What? Oh, you understand? What? I'm so confused. You understand from a biblical and historical perspective. Biblical? Why biblical? But how about changing our minds and attitudes and help to make ourselves in the Bahamas a better place since we are changing names and removing the reminders of the Bahamas' history? Okay, sure. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. We've been saying that forever. Not happening yet, though. Let's remember to let the country know that politicians and political figures do not deserve any more benefits and salary increases. Okay, it's coming out of nowhere. We have a massive country to develop with economic growth and meaningful ways to help feed ourselves. Where is the national pride for the future of the Bahamas? Okay, I can't read this text. To the Prime Minister, the first thing needed to be done about climate change is for him to stop selling off our land and beaches to foreigners who are destroying it. Wow. Okay. That's, Yeah, she meant King of America. Okay. I did not hear it either, but I did hear no, I don't want to read this. I don't want to read that. Let's move on. BBL.
Oh, one more thing before we jump to BBL. So a classmate of mine said that they could rename it back to William Gordon Primary School, which apparently when they named it Columbus, it was an amalgamation of two schools that existed at the time, which was William Gordon and Columbus, and they made them one, and they gave it Columbus Primary as the name.
I remember when they did that. It didn't hit me at the time that they chose the Columbus name.
Right. So but
it was two schools, right? You always wonder what that was about, right? There's two schools right next to each other.
So their recommendation was you could just go back to William Gordon because that's what one of the schools that were. So I love that we have people that are doing this now because there's a Miss Rogers History BGCSE on Facebook. So if this is wrong, blame Miss Rogers. But William Gordon apparently was an Anglican missionary sent to the Bahamas in 1790. He was stationed in Exuma, went across the islands.
He was a what, sorry?
Anglican missionary sent to the Bahamas in 1790. But one of his main goals while he was here was to build churches and schools. And so when they started to actually do that towards the end of his tenure, that's how come, I guess inevitably, the school ended up being named in his honor.
Oh, that's why they.
Yeah,
that's why they lost the name. Okay,
because the same problem.
But it goes back to the texture because without the British, there would be no Bahamas. But I doubt they'll go back to William Gordon. They will not do that one. Although he sounds like he had his heart in the right place.
It seems so.
Although that's what the history book is telling us.
Miss Gordon.
We'll find out.
Miss Rogers.
When you find out the true history. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Well, they do in some cities, name schools, numbers, right?
That's true. PS1.
PS, right. That might be the safest thing. They say, oh, no, there's too many sixes in that number. Oh, I don't want that school. Anyway, that might be the safest thing to do. Okay, so BPL, increased electricity consumption responsible for higher bills. Our Chester Robards writing this. Bahamas Power and Light releasing a statement yesterday attributing higher electricity bills being experienced by many households to increased electricity consumption rather than any change in electricity rates. In the statement, BPL said both its base rate and fuel charge have remained unchanged since the fall, but contends that rising temperatures have resulted in consumers using more electricity to cool their homes. But let me just stop right there. So it might not have changed, but it's still extremely high. And looking at my bill, which doubled from the month before, most of the bill is the fuel charge. So it doesn't matter that it changed. It's still too high.
Yeah, so it's that thing where under 800, it's a certain amount. If you go over 800, then it's a different amount.
Right.
I have challenges with this. And my challenge is we do this every June and July, right? As Bahamians. My bill is bloated. Listen, I understand. But at the same time, I think sometimes we don't properly reflect on our usage. And so we complain as though something has changed. So, yeah, the rate hasn't changed, right? When you cross a certain threshold in usage, it gets ridiculous. But that's what exists. That is now. You could argue about the billing threshold setup. You can argue about that.
Yeah.
But if you go and you check your meter, and your meter today reflects, so let's say if it's not, because you could go and check to see, well, did they estimate my bill, and is that why it's so high and I didn't use as much?
Yeah.
But if you go and you check and you look at your meter and you can say, well, okay, if my meter reading, because I think this bill went up to the 10th of June, if my meter reading, according to their records, on the 10th of June was 2,000, right? And my meter reading now is, 2,500, and we're like halfway or whatever, then you can say, okay, that looks to be like it's a legitimate bill. It's not an estimation. But if their billing reading was 2,000 and now, 20 days later, the billing reading is 2,100, then you could be like, hold on, now, how did we get to 2,000? It was only 2,100 now, and I'm using it at the same rate. Then you could actually kind of have that conversation of, was my bill estimated? And therefore, how do we reflect this? That you can have that conversation. But literally, as an adult, every year that I've been alive, there's this conversation in June and July. My bills are double. And I think if you start your AC an hour or two earlier, if you're running it at a lower temperature, all of these things contribute to a higher bill.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And kids are home in the summer. They could lie to you and be like, we ain't starting the AC, but there's 9:15 when you've been out the door, the AC on, and 2 o'clock
every device is on.
Right, and then and you're charging this. So I think we do have to consider, especially if you're a household that has kids. Now, I will say, for the people who say my bill last month was $200 and now my bill is $2,200, please, that's different.
That's crazy.
Right? But I think, on the most part, I have a friend of mine, his bill is normally $120, his bill was $250, right? Our bill last month was $280 and now it's $450.
Right.
And so it's like you see where there's a consistency in the difference in the bills for everyone across the board. But we every year we have the same thing.
Yeah. And you're right. I'm
new.
not trying to say that something's wrong.
Right.
I know exactly that. I knew my bill was going to be higher.
Right.
Because I knew I took vacation that month, and so I was
right.
home.
So if you're home or right, and like I say, especially if you're a family with kids and now school is closed, it's going to reflect that.
Yeah. So BPL says that air conditioners, refrigerators, and deep freezers must operate longer and more frequently during the hotter summer months to maintain temperatures, increasing overall household electricity consumption. They said that, quote, many households are seeing the higher electricity bills this summer, but one thing has not changed since the fall. Bahamas Power and Light's base rate and fuel charge have remained the same. So what has changed? Electricity consumption. I feel like they're talking down to us. No, I feel like that. The utility noted that cooling appliances are among the largest consumers of electricity in most homes, and that, quote, as outside temperatures rise, the demand for cooling increases. Appliances that work to maintain a temperature, such as air conditioners, refrigerators, and deep freezers, must run longer and more often to keep your home and food cool. BPL said it will use its social media platforms and WhatsApp channels next week to educate customers on the relationship between higher summer temperatures, increased electricity usage, and monthly bills. Okay.
We doing all of that?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that was great. Everything helps, but you could also explain to us why the bills were late, and will I get a new bill in 2 weeks as opposed to a month?
That's the other issue, right? Because the bills were late. The other thing, too, is, we don't take into consideration maintenance, right? So if you have AC units, you should have them. Like, I would recommend for everybody, you just get your AC checked like in May every year before you get into it, because if there's any deficiencies in the system that's causing it to work hard, it's to their point, right?
With climate change, it might need
no,
to
but
be,
if there's
might
any,
need to be February.
right.
Check it in February.
LOL.
Yeah.
But if there's any deficiencies in your system, doing the maintenance, getting it cleaned out, because then it doesn't have to work as hard, right? And so you might see a meaningful difference. It might not bring your bill down to what it was, April, May, but it might actually still conserve some energy and therefore give you some relief in that space.
Yeah. So again, what do you think of the tone of that statement? I just think it's a little, not quite condescending, but like.
Well, because I think,
I don't know.
I think it comes across as like, we doing this again? Because I think that's the challenge. Like we see this every year. We see the same complaints, and I imagine you shouldn't talk this way, but it comes across as somebody who's just tired of having to have this conversation. That's what it comes across.
We're all tired, PPL. Everybody's tired.
But it is a consistent thing. Every June and July, we have the same conversation as Bahamians, because naturally the consumption goes up.
All right, let's hear from you on this. And what did you make of your bills?
Yeah.
Was it in line with what you thought? Even though mine doubled from the month before, which I actively worked the month before to get my bill lower. As I told people earlier in the week, it was only about $50 to $70 higher than the highest bill I got for the year, which was the month before that one. So not outrageous.
Right.
And according to the bill which came in the email, my consumption is down compared to a year ago. So, interesting.
Because I think the rates came down in the fall last year, if I remember correctly. And so
they adjusted it. Yeah.
So, and then, like I say, I encourage people, if you think that there's an issue, go and check your meter. Go and do the due diligence, see what your meter reading says, see if it seems reasonable that, okay, we're 20 days removed from the end of the billing cycle, because I think it ended June 10th. And so we're now on the second. So we were 22 odd days removed from the end of the billing cycle. See what your reading is now to see if you can verify whether or not this seems normal, or if it seems, because if it's too close to the number, then you can maybe think that it was an estimation, and then you could go have that conversation.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But arm yourself with information to have the conversation, rather than just saying, my bill is high, throw my hands in the air. Because there are things you can do as a consumer to kind of help yourself.
Okay, let's get these calls in quickly, and then the text messages, and then we'll take a break. Caller, good morning. You are live on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight and your guest.
Hi.
Okay, I just want to make a little quick comment on that there, right? What the BPL is actually saying is actually true. The air conditioner is working harder, right? But the problem what they have with the statement is when they say the fridge running longer. Dwight, your fridge always runs 24 hours. At which point in that time you yank out the fridge, 8 o'clock to cut, and then you plug it back in, you plug the boy back in around 2 o'clock in the morning. Your fridge always running 24 hours. Your freezer always running 24 hours. I don't know about you, right? But wait, honest to God, I actually allocate from January or February an extra $1,500 for 3 months to pay my light bill. Because I know it can be at least $500 in June, $500 in July, and $500 in August. Yeah, I just thought, but we already know this could happen. I don't see why it was the big surprise. Last year, my light bill was actually tripled.
Wow.
So every summer we have the same thing, so we already know what's gonna happen. We already know how the story can end. The light bill can be high. So why are we surprised?
Well,
we know ain't nothing gonna happen.
Okay, but again, if you look deeper, and I said it earlier, if you look deeper, the majority of your light bill is the fuel charge. That is, no matter how much you use, that is very disturbing, right? And that is concerning. That has nothing to do with you. That's
it's disturbing. But the problem is, we have to live in comfort. They already know we can burn that AC. We ain't sacrificing air conditioning for our mom. They know that.
Sure, but there's got to be something they can do, and they say they're working on these things, right? Trying to introduce more renewables and try to hedge the price, the fuel price. But there's got to be something more that can be done to alleviate this pain. Right? It's a lot.
We've been going through this for the last 20-odd years. Over 20 years, the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know if you're
You think anything can change in me or your generation? I turned 49 today. That ain't changing next 20 years. It can keep on going higher and higher.
I don't know if we can. If we should accept that.
We shouldn't accept it, but the reality is it's happening. When last has your bill gone down significantly in the last 20 years? Never. In June, July, and August. August is the hottest month of the year. You know you run at AC. You churn home, you the week, you know you run at AC.
Yeah,
they cut
that's
it
not
off
what I'm
3
saying,
o'clock
though. That's
before
not
you
what I'm
do it.
saying. I'm saying BPL needs to make better choices, right? In terms of that,
right?
The fuel charge.
I do think, and I think it might just be a misstep in the way they spoke. I do understand. I think if it's hotter in the space as you open and close your fridge, so it's not about turning it on and off, obviously, right? But I think as you open and close, the hotter it is outside, the more it takes to then keep the things, because it loses more cool every time you go into the fridge.
Sure.
And so therefore it burns more to kind of get it back to the right temperature.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, he's right. It's just been a struggle.
Yeah. 6 more calls. Caller, good morning.
A pleasant good morning, Mr. Strachan. How you doing today?
Doing well. Good morning.
I talk about the schools and the names of the schools. When I was growing up in the 50s and 60s, the government school started at Government High opposite Sheraton British Colonial Hotel. And then the junior school started with the prep schools. Eastern Prep number 1 was through the corner west of the Tribune. Eastern Prep number 2 was on Shirley Street by where the post office is. And Eastern Prep number 3 was on Wolf Road by opposite north of AID. Then we came into the secondary school. We had Eastern Prep, Eastern Senior, and Eastern Junior, Donald Davis and Mr. Conlive. Then we had Western Senior and Western Junior on the top of Blue Hill Road, just south of the wall of the government house. Then we had on Wolf Road, the corner of Collins Avenue, and Wolf Road, we had Sutton Senior and Sutton Junior. Those were the original names, and then Government High moved down to Pontiana, became the College of the Bahamas, and the same school became the University of the Bahamas. The pool in Government High and the University of the Bahamas yard was built between 1967 and 1968. And I was one of those that helped in the building of the pool. I was also the first one jumped into the pool.
There's a lot of great history there, Sparky. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Okay. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're live.
Yes, good morning, Dwight. Good morning to your co-host.
Hi.
Dwight, just let me just first say, the cycling of the refrigerator doesn't change unless the temperature in your house changes. So that story there doesn't hold up. However, concerning the consumption of the fuel surcharge, if you run an engine at optimal, kind of like driving a car, 995, 55 miles an hour, you get a certain miles per gallon. When you have to accelerate to reach the same distance to carry a big ore, say you're pulling a tow, you are now consuming more fuel, even if you're going at 55 miles an hour, because you have to burn more gas to keep that momentum. That is the power generation that we have for improper planning for the power company for its generation scheme. Then what we have is a failure of the so-called energy strategy we have is a consumption reduction strategy that goes across the entire Bahamas. So what we have is an ad hoc position of continuously adding capacity of generation, which when you add capacity of generation, those fuel charges is divided equally across the kilowatt hours produced. So if you spend $100 to produce 1,000 kilowatts, just an example, it's divided by those 100 people, say 100 people you're servicing. But if you spend $200 or $150, it's still divided across those people, so your fuel consumption goes up, even though your kilowatt hours may remain the same. So this is why BPL has been gaslighting us for a long time, because they have not published a comprehensive strategy, a gap analysis, a cost analysis, and a time analysis of what is it we're trying to achieve. And until we get those, they can continuously change the dynamics of why something is happening. Because if we have those and KPI of what we have achieved, as well as our old bill we're trying to pay and everything else.
Yeah, thank you very much. Definitely. We need some some answers. Caller, good morning. You have the final call.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, this is an interesting conversation, and I want to side with you this morning because I think what your concern is, from what I gather that you're saying is, I don't mind paying, but you want to know how could they reduce the cost to me, the consumer.
Well, the fuel charge, yes.
Right.
That is
There's two
driving
things
up all of our bills.
There are two things that come to mind, and what you represent is majority of us who pay light bills, who understand the value of keeping your home cool, but then trying to now find a way to balance the money. And so what BPL, or what we're asking BPL to say is, okay, there are two things that have to happen for me as a consumer. You have to find a way to reduce the surcharge to me, so it can reduce the cost of fuel to me, or we have to find a way to create more revenues in my pocket so I could cover the additional costs that will be incurred. That's one.
Okay. No, about that. I mean, additional, sure, for us, but not to give them the money.
That's the only way you'll be able to afford to pay a light bill.
I don't need to make more money to pay BPL more. That's okay. I don't want that to happen. That would be horrible.
Okay, so here's my next point then. So that's good. 102. So now, what we find happening now is, we see this energy program. Unless we subsidize the power through production at no cost, blackouts, right? We charge it by the hour, but we don't have a way to log our hours when we are without no power, because at the end of the day, we don't know if that still then charges us for the time that we don't have no power during these blackouts times X, and are we still paying for the days that we experience blackout, and why? Because that's important too. Why am I paying for power when my power is off this day? And if you're estimating my power bill, then why aren't you making the adjustments? Because you know what areas are off, and you know how long they were off, so you should know how to credit accounts connected to this area in terms of when you're understanding it by trying to be appreciative versus still having me pay for this power that you know I use during the blackout.
Okay. All right. I hear you. I don't know. You want to squeeze that in? Yeah, let's squeeze that call in very quickly as we need to take a break. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi.
Yeah, these light bills are very high. I couldn't believe when my brother was telling me it was $600 a month for the little homestead in the Grove, right? You have a few AC units in there, but the public should be reminded that an AC is trying to catch up with something, the temperature that you set it on. So like the gentleman said, the more you open up the fridge, the more hot air comes in. So the fridge just, whatever the thermostat is set on, it's trying to reach that. So it's jogging towards that to reach that. So the harder you make it for that, then the harder the compressor or the motor the more it'll be running intermittently as it's trying to reach the differential. So it would be the cut in and the cut out. And so they know that consumption increases every year, Mr. Strong. But the gentleman, what he talked about just now, basically, it doesn't, I mean, I don't know, I know some people just read their own meter consumption, and then they just subtract the difference, and then they do the kilowatt hour. But as somebody who works in engineering, there's a lot of fuel wastage that we're not giving account for. They're not going to tell you fuel is being wasted either from the boiler inefficiency or pillaging or just basically leaks in the pipes, you know what I mean? And so that's why the fuel charge is so high, because, I mean, everybody who does contractual work on that, they could see the amount of fuel left over in the ground and whatever seeping here and there. That's what I'm saying. So there's nothing really new. But, like I said, insulation and all these other things will help as far as the bills. But, it's just the kilowatt hour is basically, the rate is high too, Dwight. So we have to look at all these things. And so what he's talking about, he must bear in mind that there's actually a meter. So you can read the meter yourself and subtract and do the kilowatt hour and say, well, this is what you get. You could give an established date that you took it this day, and then the same thing a water meter. You took it this day, and then you just get the consumption.
Yeah.
And you do the kilowatt hour. Is basically, they taught us that from electrical school from day one. So the fact that they say they're estimating it, you could juxtapose it with that. Which I don't know, they shouldn't be, but for the little small upholstery shop, the bill is kind of reasonable. So I notice when I don't use certain equipment, the bill is lower, but for the house, it's kind of different with the AC units. I don't know.
Okay.
It must be like a gold mine on AC units. But I'm telling you, I was surprised at $600 a month plus.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. All right. So again, everyone needs to look at their bill.
Yeah.
Looking at mine, based on the electricity only, my
Mhm.
bill was $115.
Mhm.
When you add the fuel charge,
Yep.
that part
That's where
is
it jumps.
$207.
Yeah, and I think when you get over a certain threshold, they also add VAT.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I think they're
Thankfully, I'm still under that.
right. I
But-
think their commentary about, I think that's where they speak to the inefficiencies, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of trying to bring in more renewables, get more LNGs, things like that, is trying to get to a space where their part of the equation is more efficient, and therefore that should help to drive bills down.
Right.
I think
And
that's what they're
that's
trying
what they're
to get
saying.
across,
So
right?
hopefully next year we'll start to feel the benefits of that. In the meantime, we're dealing with this. But again, $207 of my bill is fuel charge.
Just pray the fuel surcharge don't go up.
Just over 100, my electricity consumption.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, who's got the problem here? Quickly, as we go to the break, this person says here, the name changes are just a distraction. Other former British colonies like India and other African countries have changed names of places and buildings, and that has not made much of a difference in those countries. Are you sure about that? I want my roads fixed, proper, cheap electricity that does not go off, and a proper functioning hospital. You can have all those things and change the names. How do you know it hasn't made a difference in their identity and how they feel about themselves? You can't. I don't think you can say that. You can't say that. Yeah. Who is this person trying to explain away a government promise by a way of a minister to every Bahamian that electricity will be lower this summer? I don't know if they said that. Did they say that? The minister was on every news media selling lower electricity through the summer period before and leading up to the election. Well, they did say that the first 200 kilowatt hours would be free, and that would mean lower. You have to. You have to compare it to where you were at this point last year or the year before,
Yeah.
right?
It takes a little bit of legwork to go and
Yeah.
figure it out, in all honesty.
Because it's not that it's not true,
Right.
but the summer you do use more, and the bills will be higher. The question is how much higher. That was right. That's the question. Summer heat should take your bill up at most 50%. The floor is 36%. These guys are saying your bill is up 300% and calling it normal. This is not a nation of abnormal normals. I'm with Dwight on this one. BPL needs to do something else. A friend of mine lives in Miami. His AC doesn't turn off. He comes to Nassau for a few days and leaves his AC on. And what's his bill like?
Well, some people have said that, and somebody who's in engineering or electrical can speak to say if this is true or not. But I had someone tell me that if you, especially if you had like central air, if you just ran it on like 77, 78 all the time, you would have a better bill than turning it on and off.
Yeah.
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 So
Well, who's going to prove it? Who's going to?
Well,
you want to try it?
Here? No. I mean,
right. Who's going to try it for a month? I mean, some of you are doing it, but your bills are huge.
Hold on. I will say though, my aunt and uncle who live in Nassau East, they have central air. They always used to run like they had it, I think, on like 76, and they never turned it off.
Yeah.
And they never had complaints of bills. So and he was an engineer as far as I remember, if I'm remembering right. He was an engineer for BTC, but yeah. Try it.
If someone can help,
go partner with BPL.
I need to partner with somebody, to guarantee
partner with BPL,
that if it gets too crazy.
Yeah, like they'll cover it, but like,
Right.
because
I'm willing to sacrifice myself.
Because if they think it's true, then they should be willing to say, well, if it's not true, we'll pay you the balance of your bill.
So we got to get everything serviced first.
Go talk to BPL
and then do it.
Yeah,
and
servicing
try it
helps
for a
too.
month.
In July,
August
Love
would
it
be.
for you.
Oh man,
August the hottest month of the year. Do it.
Is it? September is really bad. Oh boy, but we should do
There's
a
a whole
series
lot
of
of
shows on
conversation
this.
we need to
Yeah,
have about this
that's
heat.
very
Because I don't
exciting.
understand why we have to be wearing long pants everywhere. Bermuda has it right.
People wearing suits, 3-piece suits,
and your shorts.
We got to go to the news. We'll be back. Sorry. We're talking with the Bahamas Driving School Association when we return. Stay with us here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, Air, the Athlete's Foot, and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
No budget for vacation this summer? No worries. We got you. Guardian Radio 96.9 will fly you and a guest to South Florida for a vacation of a lifetime. Our sweet summer escape gets you round-trip tickets on Bahamas Air. $1,000 spending cash, thanks to Percy's Island Games. Brand new luggage from Brass and Leather. 4 days and 3 nights at the beautiful Holiday Inn Express Plantation. Free car rental from Hertz, too. All you need is your passport. We got you covered. Enter now for the Guardian Radio 96.9 Sweet Summer Escape. Fill out the form in today's Nassau Guardian and follow us on all social media platforms. Remember, you must be 18 or older to enter. Entry deadline August 12th, drawing August 14th. Taxes not included and certain restrictions apply.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Come, let's celebrate the Bahamas' independence. Stop by Janae's Uniform Center and get 30% off selected Independence Polo items. Get an additional 10% volume discount for 30 or more pieces. Net items excluded. The net items, Janae's unique limited edition Independence tees. Don't forget the black, gold, and aquamarine ribbons in various sizes to decorate the home or office. Visit Janae's Chesapeake Road or text the Janae's digital team at 817-3295 or email sales@janae's.com or www.janae's.com. Happy Independence Bahamas from Janae's. This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
This independent moment is brought to you by The Perfume Bar, New Life, Brass and Leather, Commonwealth Brewery Limited, Thompson Trading, distributors of Easy Off, Beyond Flags, and the Nassau Guardian Media Group.
The central bank was established on June 1st, 1974 by the Central Bank of the Bahamas Act. The bank's mandate included the power to promote and maintain monetary stability and balance of payment conditions conducive to the orderly development of the Bahamian economy, to promote and maintain adequate banking service and high standards of conduct in bank management, to advise the Minister of Finance or request any financial or monetary matter. The Bahamas is a member of the International Monetary Fund, allowing it to apply exchange control to capital account transactions, foreign equity investments, direct foreign investment, and other inward and outward flows of money.
This independent moment is brought to you by The Perfume Bar, New Life, Brass and Leather, Commonwealth Brewery Limited, Thompson Trading, distributors of Easy Off, Beyond Flags, and the Nassau Guardian Media Group.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, July 3rd, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Alexis Burrows, and it's been a dangerous week on the streets of New Providence, well, throughout the country, a deadly week for motorists, and we're all trying to understand what is going on what are chaotic streets at times, any day, any night. And here to talk about this and a whole lot more and talk about the education that's desperately needed. Very happy to have with us the Bahamas Driving School Association. We have President Herman Maycock, Vice President Nathaniel Pierre, and Safety Officer Gigi Knowles. Great to have you all with us. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Let's get all your mics up there. There we go. Let's try that one more time.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. So we want to get into it about what's happening. People are very concerned about what they're seeing on the streets. But before we do, tell us a little bit about the Driving School Association. We met you all for the first time during Labor Week. But tell us more about the association. Not many people, I think, have heard of you all, but you've been around for a very long time.
Yes. Good morning, Bahamaland. And first of all, I want to give my respect and regard and sympathy to those loved ones who have lost their loved ones during the course of the week. And coming from the Bahamas Driving School Association and our members. So, going back to you, Mr. Strachan, and good morning to you, Mr. Alexis.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, our association has been around for some good years. Okay. Persons might see us traveling the streets with names on our cars and everything, but we are an organized group, and we more or less are here to serve the public. Okay, and we have a membership of over 30-something persons, and adding, and most of our members are certified. So I could say more, but we don't want to belong our time on ourselves.
Again, it's been decades.
Yes.
Decades you've been around. Okay, so it's been a long time. Alexis was telling you how long it's been since he went to driving school. It's even longer for me. It's been quite a while. You do see cars. You do see people with the L on it. But am I wrong? Are you seeing fewer people learning? Are the people bypassing driving schools and out there, as they say, riding dirty, deciding not to get a license? What are you seeing? What are the numbers? Are your numbers down? What has the association determined here?
Well, road traffic has put some strategic programs in place and some standard. So right now, what you can see now is more person coming in to get their driver's license.
You are seeing that.
Okay, so what they have in place now is working. Okay, it needs a little bit more teeth, but fortunately, we will accept that stance now. Okay, so as we go along and observing persons, we can see more persons coming in. Now, it only takes the law to more or less enforce and do them a little bit more roadblocks, and as it does the roadblocks, the requirement that is already in place, you must have your driver's license on you, you must have your insurance certificate, and your car must be licensed. So if they enforce those laws, then you'll be catching a lot of persons who are driving daily, and so I think the police is doing a great job with that.
All right, so the driving schools have not noticed, you're noticing more people coming in. You're not noticing a fall off or anything. Yep, we could get right into that, Mike Nathaniel.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Grant. Good morning, Mr. Alexis.
Dwight Strachan and Alexis Burrows.
Strachan, Alexis Burrows. Appreciate the audience to be here and talk to you about it. We have noticed a lot more people. In fact, it's almost reaching panic level. People are really rushing in. I need my license because of the increased police activity on the road. So, like Mr. President said, it is working. The noticeable presence of the police on the streets is causing a major positive difference. It's making an excellent impact.
So how long have you been noticing this?
I would say for the least the past 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Because the more police activity, people are less likely to take risks. However, we also as a nation have to enlist some technology, cameras in certain places. And also, too, sometimes even I am driving by Bahama, and that little speed meter, I was like, geez, I didn't realize I was going 38.
Right.
It lets you know. So it makes you more aware when you're in those areas. And isn't it something that in the higher end neighborhoods, you have less incidents of reckless driving? For the most part, you notice where these accidents are happening is because they have also they have sidewalks everywhere. They also have that speed camera everywhere, and it's also a culture that you don't go in certain areas acting the fool. So we want to see more technology being put in place by the government to remind people that, Jesus, this E Street and you doing 70 miles? Wow. Seriously? I mean, so those type of things would help. More cameras would help. And then the police officers also continuing applying the pressure to reckless drivers.
Yeah. So I'm curious, the people who are coming in, these are not people who are 17, 18. These are adults who are coming in saying, I need to get a license, and coming trying to get their license for the first time?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness.
You find some persons say they were driving about 20 years.
What now?
Yes, sir.
No, I can't.
Some persons come and telling you that they had already passed through 4 cars and they don't need no lessons, but yet still when they go on.
Never had a license before?
Never had a license before. And they go take the test, and some of them still fail.
Of course.
Because they don't want to take no formal lesson.
They don't know the rules.
They don't know the rules, and they don't know what the requirement of the examiner.
I mean, it looks that way by driving around. Like, clearly, you bought your license or you don't have a license.
Because it's true. You must remember that the examiner is not going to conform to your way of driving.
Right.
No.
The standard is already there. Okay.
Because there's still the requirement that you have to have at least a certain amount of lessons before you could even apply for the test, right? That's still in place?
No, that's what we are more or less advocating for.
Because when I did mine, this is obviously 23 years ago, but they told me that you had to do at least 2 lessons with a formal driving school before you could even put in for your license at road traffic.
Well, that was there before, but now that is not even all the requirement is now one must have a learner's permit, and you come down, and now we are.
That's why nobody know how to go round and roundabout.
and you have to take it in a driving test vehicle, right? Yeah. You can't use a private vehicle to do the test.
And we just advocated for that, and now we have that
right
on the books now.
So and then in order to do that, you need to take at least one test, one class, one lesson, right?
Well, we require persons to take at least a lesson.
At least one.
And sometimes persons have their tests within 15 to 20 minutes. They're down the road traffic and they're looking for a vehicle. You see.
Do you all agree to it, or you say?
Well, some of the instructors, it's all about they don't want to lose that couple of dollars, but then sometimes you have to have certain standard.
Yeah.
And if you have certain standard, that's why the association is trying to advocate now to have our instructors to at least have some kind of standard and dignity to more or less be prepared for, these kind of incidents and these persons.
Okay, so I got to ask you this. Anyone can jump in. So when somebody comes and they're 40 and they've never had a license before, and they're like, I got to get a license. I mean, what do you all do? Are you obligated to report them, or what do we do?
No, we don't report
that
them.
person is a criminal. Your mic is on, yes.
Only if you get catch.
With Gigi, yeah, what do you do?
Well, for persons that age, we'll still take them out on a lesson.
Get a little closer to them.
We'll still walk them through the necessary procedures, which would be getting the learner's permit. Well, first, before you can get the learner's permit, you have to go down to road traffic and take the theory exam on their computer. Once you pass, then you'll be eligible to get your learner's permit.
Okay.
Still continue your lessons because we have to prepare you for the exam. Now, there are certain things that you have to do on your exam to make sure that you pass. So once we done do all of that, then we be like, okay, we're ready to take the exam. Email road traffic, get a test date, and you're good to go from now.
Yeah. And what do you find with compliance? I mean, will they go through all of this?
Yes, for the most part.
Even though
yes,
they think they know everything because they've been driving for 20 years.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Strachan, like I said, it's already in place. And you can't go around it, you can't go under it.
Yeah.
You got to go through that door.
Yeah.
Okay? And what you're looking at is that they must take that theory test because to be registered into the system, you have to take the theory test.
Yeah.
And once you take the theory test, then you are on the road to start to more or less get your driver's license. So those 20 years that you claim that you have been driving, as far as road traffic concerned, I think they're concerned.
Yeah.
Even if you lost your license and stuff and didn't renew the license, some people had their license for 10 years before they came over to the old system, from the old system to the new system. They can't even find them no more.
Wow.
So those persons too have to go on another
Wow.
driving test.
Wow. Nathaniel, you wanted to add something?
Well, I mean, the good thing about these things that are in place is, like Mr. President said, and like Gigi alluded to, we still go through the steps because those are firm. You have to get registered into the system. You have to go through the theory exam process, and you have to have a road test. So those facilities are strong. We just want to see, like Alexis mentioned, that there be more of a minimum standard in terms of formal driving lessons for first-time drivers, so that they would also be able to acclimate to roundabout usage. We want to see more signage of speed limits on some of these roads. And also, too, if you notice that most of the accidents where there are traffic fatalities, excessive speed was a factor.
A major factor.
Major factor in the accident. So we know that this is preventable. So that's where you have to have a certain culture shift in the community. And if you look at the age group, we're not making this up. It's mostly younger, newer, less experienced drivers that are having not accidents, crashes, fatal crashes. So we want to get the message across to the young individuals just coming into the system, just coming into the circulation on the road, to basically have more of a mindset of safety rather than showboating.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can tell you from my experience when I ran through the process, there was a gentleman, I don't remember his name, he's a heavy-set gentleman who was who did a lot of the tests for new drivers. And I remember when, all of our friends are doing it at the same time. And so they were like, oh, you got him, you definitely failed it the first time, right?
Yes.
And so I remember doing the test, because even with, the roundabout thing is a sticking point for me, because I almost got in an accident on a roundabout last week because somebody was on the outside lane and they were trying to go around me, and I'm on the inside lane trying to exit the roundabout, right? But even just the difference in the types of roundabouts that we have, because we have a number of 2 lanes, we have a couple of 1 lanes, and then we have a couple of ones that come out and merge directly into the street. So like the Goodman's Bay one is an example of that, right? You don't treat that roundabout like you treat a lot of the other ones. And I bring up that one because that is why I failed the exam the first time. So we were approaching that roundabout, coming up Skyline, coming onto it, and I was just treated like the regular roundabout. So I went around, I was coming on to West Bay, and he was like, stop, on brakes, right? He's like, you trying to kill me? And literally, I knew I failed the exam right then. And I did. But I learned valuable lesson.
Was the giveaway sign not there?
I can't even remember.
Oh, boy.
But obviously, your driving instructors take you on the route. And so, I just forgot that you don't do that one that way, right? But even things like that, it's these little nuances that you don't get if you just drive. So some people, if you're learning with your parents, you may just drive to school every day, right? And there's a specific route that you go on, so you know your route, right? But that doesn't necessarily open you up to all of the different things that you can encounter when you go on the road on your own. And so that's where the importance of this association and the schools and the lessons come into play. So for me, I learned that lesson during my driving test, having to go and pay the money again to do the test a second time, having to go and tell everybody I failed it the first time. But it was an experience that showed me no, you have to know all of these different things in order to be safe on the road. And I think that is the importance of it, right? It's crazy that we don't have that requirement of multiple driving tests before you could even go with a formal instructor before you could go, because that's how you learn, right? Like I have a friend of mine, I'm not going to call her name, but we have a friend of the family. She worked on Shirley Street, and she lived on right off Eastern Road. She would drive Shirley Street, she would drive Eastern Road, Shirley Street, East Bay, back, right?
Mean road drive.
And she will not, if you were inviting her to go somewhere that was out, she would just not go, right? So, but not everybody operates like that. They'll be like, well, I could drive, I have my license, I go. But if you don't have that formal training, it becomes a real risk to yourself, your passengers, and other people on the road.
I agree, because you won't know how to react.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so with that being said, I would encourage persons, you know, to come to the driving school. You know what I mean? Even though if you could drive and you just used to driving in one particular area, so that we can get you familiarized with different areas, especially with the roundabouts. And so that within that training, it will also be something like a defensive training as well.
Yeah.
You know, so that you'll know how to maneuver around certain situations, because we have a lot of reckless drivers out here on the streets.
On the road. Yeah.
Listen to me. And the things that I see them do is unbelievable. I'm like, how did y'all get your license?
Yeah. So let's talk about that, because you're saying that a lot of people don't have licenses at all, never took these tests, and we're wondering, is it because they don't know or they don't care? We see people overtaking on the double line. We see people taking over the long single line. They don't seem to care at all. What do you think it is? As a safety officer, lack of care, or they just never learned it?
I think that they learned it.
Wow.
But it's just that they're not applying what they're learning to their everyday life. See, sometimes things have to happen in order for you to realize the seriousness of what your instructors was teaching you. You know, and it shouldn't have to get that far. You understand? Even down, for example, the Mack truck drivers. Why would you overtake a driving school car and a car is coming down? You understand that's dangerous.
And why are they going 60 miles per hour everywhere?
But that's the thing too. Like I have questions, because I know we need better signage for like speed limits, and then we have to have differentiation for speed limits by the size of the vehicle. So I see 18-wheelers, Mack trucks, jitney drivers, and you're doing taxi drivers. You're doing the craziest stuff on the road. And it's like, these are people where your vehicles are large enough to create a lot of damage if you get an accident. Or you're carrying a number of people if you're a jitney, or if you're a taxi, you're endangering a lot more people because of the size of the vehicle and the amount of people that you're carrying. All of that is like, we have to do better of, you know, kind of making sure that stuff is known. You know, you shouldn't be on a road and you don't know what the speed limit is because you can't see it, right? Because there's just not enough signs posted. So there is that element to it. But I think sometimes too, when you're young, you think you're superhuman. You don't think anything's going to happen to you, so you don't consider like the ramifications of your decisions, right? So, like we have to think about it. I think as parents, we have to do a better job of kind of talking to our kids, right? So, like my daughter's 8, right, and she's very in tune with what's happening in the world. So we saw the accident, and we got into, you know, you fast forward a couple of years, you're going to be on the road. If you're at a party and people are leaving and the people that you came with are intoxicated, don't leave with them, right? If you're going into a vehicle and there's not enough seat belts for everybody in the vehicle, don't go with them. Call Dad. If you are driving yourself and you feel like you don't have the capacity, forget if I'm going to be angry that you're drunk. Just call me, because I'd rather you get home safe than not get at home because you were scared of getting in trouble, right? Don't go in a car if you have to lap up on something. Like all of these things, it starts at that level, right? So it's like everybody has a responsibility to play in it, right? It's you, whoever steps into the vehicle. It's the parents involved when you're talking about young people, and it's understanding, no, you're not superhuman. And when you go out on the streets, it's not just you that you have to be considerate of. Like my wife always tells me, she's like, I feel safe when you drive because you know to drive around the crazies that are on the road. Not necessarily that you're just the safest driver yourself, but you know how to navigate defensively on the road. And I think that might be something that we have to do more of as well, is that defensive, as in that consideration of what's happening around you, even more so than can you parallel park, right? Because I think those are the areas, like you said, knowing how to respond on the road is how you avoid accidents, right? That is probably one of the key things, other than operating within the speed limit and things like that, is knowing how to navigate everything else that's on the road.
Wow.
And then piggybacking on what you were saying, for me, I am currently employed with Benavides Driving School. Shout out to Miss Benavides and Kino. But every client that comes into the vehicle, I tell them, hey, speeding is not driving. You have to learn to take your time. Even for the ones who start off with their parents teaching them, just relax. Take your time. And it goes back to the saying where, the old people would say it takes a village to raise a child. Every one of us play a role in safety, and we have to look at it like this. My life is at risk, your life, and the passenger. So we want to continue to drive safe on these streets.
Okay, so I have a pet peeve with this, right? So speeding, yes, speeding is bad, but
Yes,
there are
it is
people
bad.
around here who are not driving the speed limit. So if it's 45 on the highways, they're going 25. They're doing 20, and they're often on the phone.
They're doing faster than that.
There are people doing faster, but there are people going way slower, which is also causing problems. What are we doing about that? I mean, they're just people just making up their own rules, deciding what they're going to do, totally disregarding what is in place. What are we to do with them?
Well, just yesterday, I had a student out, right? I started to explain to him, listen, you're going too slow. He tells me that I just being safe.
Oh, wow.
I say, slow doesn't mean safe.
You need to say that again, sir. Please say it again.
Slow doesn't mean safe, okay? You are now being a hazard on the road. You are now going to create road rage. Because what's going to happen, persons behind you, they can start blowing.
Get angry.
They can get angry. They come in around you. And before I was finished saying what I said, 3 cars, boom, 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 overtaked us. Okay? I said, you see what I was saying? But then he started to pick up his speed, but then he goes right back into the same position. So what I try to tell my students, some of the students, I tell them, say, you know something, persons just go around saying that they never got in an accident. But I ask them, how many accidents you have caused?
Wow.
Okay. You might don't get no accident, but how much accidents you have caused?
Yep.
Because you are the cause of the accident. Just like if you following me behind, yes, I'm supposed to keep my traveling distance, but I go slam brakes. Nobody don't see no obstruction. Nobody don't see nothing for you to slam brakes and stop. Bam, they're behind you. Yes, I got wrong because that's the law. But the fact remains, you caused the accident because you slam brakes unnecessarily. So I feel like what we can do, like I said, that it's not a regular thing, but if the police them sees you and they see that you're going slow and they could see persons them overtaking you, sometime they will go on their PA system and say, I know it happened to me once or twice by a teaching. Hey, tell the client, pick up the speed.
Oh, man.
So,
yeah, interesting.
So, they say, well, why do they say that? Because you're going too slow. I already told you that,
There's a lot of people with that mentality that I'm being safe, but you're causing problems.
So they're causing problems.
Okay, so we said it a lot. It's come up quite a bit that younger people, especially speeding, they are the ones getting into the serious crashes. But I am seeing a lot of older drivers making some unbelievable decisions on the streets. Do we need to have a point system? That's been brought up quite a bit this time, that you get points in your license, and if you get 3 points, you need to take the driving test again or something. What are we going to do about the older people who are causing problems?
Well, my observation with older persons, right? I remember me and one of the instructors had a bad joke that you have more problems with older people, and they are very mean on the road than the young person. I tell them, no, man, the young boys is they're the mean one. But they said, take a more or less a statistic with it. And I went and take a statistic. And lo and behold, our older folks are very mean on the road. They're not considerate. Because some of them, when they see you coming out, they pick up speed on you.
Yep.
Okay? You find the younger generation slows down and stop. Okay? And they are more aware. But us as older persons, I think we need to start setting more examples. Even as parents, we need to start setting more examples because the kids, them, why you speeding? My mommy is speed, my daddy is speed. I said, but that don't mean you must speed. If you know that they shouldn't be speeding, I think you could bring them conscious enough to say, hey, that's stop speeding. And I think that will hit home.
Yeah. Would you be open to something like that, a point system? Do you think that's necessary here, or where now you've got to go back and do the school? You've been in so many accidents. You need to go and take a class and redo your driving test.
Well, I like those ideas. However, I like our slogan that is better in the Bahamas. So I like the fact that, we have a lot of leeway when it comes to how we live. I don't want to see us get to the place where we have to litigate good common sense, where we have to penalize people rather than shifting a culture. Like what Alexis said. I love that. I also have a young daughter who is now overseas in school, and I bought her a car. And I also have another daughter who is just 17 going to college. And I refused to buy her a car at 17 because her school is 40 minutes away from where she lives. I said, no, I'm a driving instructor. I just know better. In my heart, I don't feel comfortable that a 17-year-old, every single day you're doing 40 miles, 40 minutes to school, 40 minutes back home. To me, the risk factor is way too great. So we have to also get to the point where parents join the army to say, listen, I might put you on timeout or even punish you for going out drinking with your friends, but I'd rather you come home alive. So listen, daddy loves you. Before you get in a car, and like you say, you see the situation is potentially dangerous. Just call me. I could be mad, but I ain't gonna kill you. And so parents have to join the fight, right? We can't leave it to government. Government is tell you, we can't employ everybody. So they definitely can't take care of our children better than us. Also, too, we also have to make sure that as far as the government is concerned, they do their part. If you could see clearly, your chances of avoiding an accident is higher. And I actually, Lord, my condolences to the family, but I drove by Shirley Street several times. And mind you, anyway, I would just like to see the road stem in better condition, and also there be proper lighting. Do you notice how Bay Street is be light up during Junkanoo time? And it is such a pleasure when you drive on Bay Street in those areas where we have the Junkanoo groups rushing through. It is so easy to commute in those areas, but have you ever tried driving through the inner cities or different parts of Nassau late in the night? You squinting your eyes.
Even the highways.
Exactly. You squinting just to see clearly in front of
you. Half a mile without any lights.
Exactly. You squinting to be able to see. And we've adapted because humans are very versatile. We've adapted to it. But even when visitors come here, they'd be like, wow, these streets are pretty dark. So you have those things that have to contribute to the issues that is happening. And also, too, this is the final thing I want to add in this. Even club owners, let them share some of the responsibility. The security, the bouncers. You see these children walking out here leaning, and you can watch them go to their car, and they drive out the parking lot, they driving onto the road the wrong side. Come on, man, you watching them go to kill themselves. So even at the door, take these children keys, ID them before they come in the club, and take their ID and say, listen, now if you come out this club and you half cut, you gonna have to call your parents, or you gonna have to take a taxi. See, community. All of this have to be a cultural shift so that we could try save some lives.
And I would say too, we have to recognize patterns. I was telling Dwight this off air before you guys came on. I have two schoolmates of mine that died in driving accidents, and both of them, one was One was Christmas break, and one was right after graduation time, right? I think we can do a better job of seeing, and there's been a number of accidents. There was the St. Andrews students on, Eastern Road at one point, on Harbor Bay. Like we see this pattern of behavior. If we know that you're going to have potentially a lot of younger drivers on the road these weekends in June, have more of a presence, right? It may not have prevented what happened on the weekend, but it may prevent others from happening, because we've seen it every Christmas, every summer, right after graduation and prom time. You have this uptick in these types of things. Have people on the streets, right? And so that's why I say it's a holistic thing. You can't isolate one thing and say this was at fault, right? When you look at everything, parents, the drivers themselves, law enforcement, road works, everyone has a part to play in it. And I think if everybody picks up their portion of the responsibility, then perhaps we can prevent things like this from happening in the future.
Absolutely. We are talking with the Bahamas Driving School Association. We've got President Herman Maycock, Vice President Nathaniel Pierre, and Safety Officer Gigi Knowles. Some calls are coming in. We've got some text messages as well. And you can call in also, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning. How are y'all doing this morning?
Doing well.
Let me make a suggestion. We send our kids to school, and I'm not that old, but we send our kids to school. They learn math, English, and all the other rest of the curriculum. Music, art, geography, home economics. There's a family life class somewhere in between there that they teach things about family and life and so forth. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be about. Why not they take the time out to put in the curriculum driving? Because there's a whole driving book, the Bahamas Handbook, that I'm sure 90% of the kids graduate don't know nothing about. Let them learn that while they're inside there, and let them get basic training on driving while they're from grade 10 to 12, and then when they come into school, then they go to the driving schools to get the driving course part of it.
Yeah. Great. We've been saying that for a long time here on the show. Mandatory driver's ed in school. The last time you all were on, we talked about it, and you all seem to be in agreement. But say it again.
Yes.
You agree that we need that in school. I'd say you shouldn't be allowed to graduate if you don't take this.
Well, I could say that Ministry of Education and Transport, they were more or less putting it together to start the driver's education program.
Excellent.
It was in the school before. Because,
so we've been told,
Yeah, because my father was one of the driver's education instructors.
Why did we stop it?
Well, different controllers, different decision.
Oh, boy.
A different chief coming down, they decide, hey, this is what they want. But the program was well on its way during the time when road traffic was really forcefully with it. I know back in the day, behind the wheel, we had cars donated from the rental companies.
Wow.
And all the government had to do was to maintain it. Now, after years go on,
well, we know how this goes.
Maintenance drop.
Right.
So the rental companies pull their support. And then the driver's education behind the wheel, that went down. And then we noticed that the government, you might hear me talking with my father a lot, but he was advocated for these things. He started the defensive driving in all the different government entities and corporate.
Yeah.
But
wow.
Now
we hopefully we'll be back soon.
We'll be back there because and I noticed most of the corporations, they are now have I should say instructors at their companies.
Okay.
I don't know how experienced they are or how trained they are, but then I remember they used to use the schools too to help them with their training along with road traffic. When they used to have their driver's education program.
Because the pedestrians need to learn it too. I mean, even if you don't decide to drive
as a pedestrian,
pedestrians just don't understand, right? Just crossing anywhere and doing anything, something is wrong.
You know what might be helpful too is if there's a physical location like for the first part of the practical driving like lessons, right? Because I realized if you're driving for the first time in a lesson out on the street, you're going to drive slow because this is all different, being behind the wheel and being in the passenger seat. So perhaps we could benefit, because I think it's like this in the States. You have driving schools where there's a track that exists outside of the actual road where you get that initial getting your feet wet before you even get onto the main road.
Or even a simulator.
Right. But the idea of you kind of get that experience first, because then perhaps, you by the time you get to that point of saying, well, I'm going out onto the actual streets, there's a comfort level where you're not going to be driving 5 miles an hour because this is the first time you haven't any experience and it's on a main road where there's other regular everyday driving happening.
Yeah.
I really love what the caller just said, the lady, about how there's different things in the curriculum and driving education should be part of it. That is so crucial. That should be like a no-brainer. That's something that within the next weeks and months we should see some action. I'm so glad that the DPM is the Minister of Education now. He's a former teacher, actually. So I'm glad to see that. We have strong representation. And see, the thing with driver's education is not only about the practical aspect. It's also about the thing that, what do you do if you see your friend drunk? Ask a 14-year-old, 12-year-old, and have them put their hand up in school. Don't go in the car, right? What do you do if you see? So certain things you want to ingrain in the psyche of these children
like you say,
to shift.
It goes back to the culture.
Yeah, because when you have a young person with a powerful car under them, 17, you could go 100 kilometers an hour. These roads ain't built for 100 kilometers an hour, no way, shape, or form. These are not track roads. These are not roads for track racing. So when you have that amount of power, you got adrenaline, you got testosterone, and Lord help you if you got alcohol or different substance in your system, you almost have a perfect recipe for disaster. But if you start to train them from there in junior school, high school, about behaviors, cultural shift and pattern, I think you will see. We're not trying to stop accidents because accidents will still happen. We're just trying to stop fatalities so that people are not getting killed on the road all the time.
Absolutely. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're live. Hi, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
I agree with the previous caller, but I went to Armberry, and we did have a driver's ed. It was not a class, but it was a club. And the question I want to ask you again, what does, who is allowed to teach that? Because our teachers teaching it.
Well, we don't know how the new system would work, but I get your point. Would the driving association be a part of this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying now to more or less lobby with the government as Ministry of Education and Transport. Okay, I know Transport, the last minister, she had in her budget debate when she more or less in her budget she talked about some stimulators. Okay, but that didn't really come off the ground too much, and then two is that we were trying to more or less ask them to be around, at least with them around the round table when they're making these decisions.
Right.
Because, us as driving instructors, we have a lot to offer, And even if you're making a decision, one of us as our executive, at least somebody should be on your board when you're making these decisions to more or less come along in driving or to be a part of driving. But I see it that it's going to materialize because with the new minister now, Mr. Lundy, I've gotten some good response from more or less persons, his assistants, and then they said that as soon as the budget was finished or whatever, we're going to have a meeting, okay? I hope we have a better relationship than the past.
Yeah.
Because you know how that goes. And so So
interesting. Wow. Okay, listen to this text. This person says here, I have my U.S. driving license. I've had it for 4 years now. I'm a college student. But what are the steps to transition to a local Bahamian license? Do I have to do the driving test again? And do I have to do the lessons as well? So what happens there?
Well, having a U.S. driver's license, they can use their U.S. driver's license in the country for a period of 3 months, okay? And then they can turn it over to a Bahamian license. Now, the steps that they take is that they have to be, if they are Bahamian, they just brings it in and they get interviewed and they transfer it over.
Interviewed?
Yes.
They don't have to do the theory test or the...
No, they have to. And if you're a foreigner, you have to be interviewed and they give you a few questions for you to answer, okay? And then with that, Bahamian or foreigners, you have to take a practical test, which is about a 15, 20 minutes drive, just to see that if you're a roadway.
Oh, you do have to do that?
Yes, sir.
Both? Foreigners and Bahamians?
Foreigners and Bahamian. Okay. And
you still have to do that in a driving association car?
A driving association car, because the standard are that the examiners are not going out and nobody in the private cars anymore because they had some unfortunate mishaps.
So do they have to take a lesson with you all, or can they just have to rent the vehicle?
Well, they only could rent the vehicle, but still, we more or less will want them to take a lesson because, like we said, what the examiners are looking for on that road, that little 15, 20 minutes road test, they need to know. You see, it's just you find some persons, they approach the pedestrian crossing. The examiner looking for you to acknowledge the pedestrian crossing, although nobody is there, but you're on a test. And to acknowledge it, you have to break your speed down. They're looking for a manual slowing down signal, and then you continue on. But if not, then you failed your test.
Okay, so you take the lesson, maybe rent the vehicle. Do you have to pay other than for the license for this interview?
You mean at road traffic?
At road traffic.
No, you don't pay for the license for the interview, or you don't pay any funds for your interview. You pay it after you get the license.
Right. Do the people at road traffic know this? I know somebody who... That's another show. Because they certainly wanted some money, but that's another story.
Conversation for another time.
Let's take this call really quickly. We're running out of time. We should talk about that, though. What's going on in road traffic, right? Some things are going on at
Opening a
road
whole
traffic.
can of worms.
What is going on at road traffic? Anyway, caller, good morning. What's happening?
Yes, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning to your panel.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We can barely hear you. I don't know if it's you or us, but can you get your volume up?
You can hear me better now?
That's a little better, yes.
Okay, I'm saying it's a very important discussion that you're having this morning. Now, one of the reasons why I'm calling, right, I notice a lot of young men today on these trail bikes. And I know you have a panel there. I believe they represent road traffic.
No, the Bahamas Driving School Association.
Okay, Bahamas Driving School Association. Well, they might be able to help them. Is there anything in place with these amount of young men on these trail bikes? Is something in place whereby they have to go and do any driving courses or anything before they get licensed or permits or whatever? Because, I mean, from what I've seen young men look between the age of 14, 15, speeding up and down the place, prancing all over the place, no helmet, nothing, to protect themselves. And just recently of yesterday, as I was heading home, two young men had two little toddlers between their legs.
Wow.
Okay? Riding these two trail bikes, speeding with these two little toddlers. I mean, the little toddlers, they're grinning because I guess they figure, this is something great experience to them or something that, that they like. Yeah. But I need to find out, is there anything in place, for something like that? Because on these roads, these guys, they in and out of the traffic.
Yeah.
Sometimes they pop really up in the air, and they're heading, and you heading in one direction, and they heading toward two. With them motorbikes up in the air, sometimes with one hand.
Yeah, we've all seen it. We know it's a big problem. The part of the chaos we're seeing.
They're coming through the middle middle of traffic doing it.
Yeah, they're doing whatever they want.
I just want to say this before I hang up.
Mm-hmm.
I had a conversation with a police officer, and I had asked her, you know, what are you all doing with all of these guys, all about all these fights? You know what she told me? She said, well, the reason why the police don't run behind these fellas, if something was to happen and they crash, okay, the police might be held responsible.
Yeah.
And
Indeed.
Then she said, but, you know, it's just a more great impact. A car or a motorbike, I said, well, it all depends. I said, motorbike could be just as impactful as the car. I said, because if this guy is speeding into your car and you whap him up in the air, he could end up in your windshield. Somebody could be seriously injured. They might even die. You know,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I mean, I guess we talked about it earlier. A lot of these folks, the license thing, do they care?
Yeah. What happened? I appreciate that call so very much. What happens is when they start to do that, they actually they bullying you, because you, to avoid hitting them, you kind of just move or swerve or slow down, and they take advantage of that. I mean, they prance in the air and slow down in front of your car. So they basically directing you to slow down. I've seen one with no shoes, no shirt, no helmet, on his seat, one hand in the middle of the road.
Yep.
I've seen this daily.
Yeah.
But you see where you can
They
really
also have no license, and the bike is
exactly,
uninsured and unregistered. so
unregulated. It's a totally
nothing.
unregulated segment of the motoring public. But
Yeah.
here's how you fix that. Somebody bringing them into the country. We don't manufacture motorbikes, so you have to stop them at the border. And the people that sell them, you have to make them responsible for selling these things to young men with no license, no learner's permit, 17, 16, you selling motorbikes to these young men. So because the young men don't want to take responsibility as a group, you have to stop it at the border. You have to make sure that, listen, whoever is importing these motorbikes, you are going to be penalized and held responsible for who you selling these motorbikes to.
All right, we are out of time. We're going to have you back. We need to have regular discussions about this stuff, but I really appreciate you all being here this morning. Let people know how they can get in contact with the Bahamas Driving School Association and find out more about what you do.
Well, you can get in contact with us more or less. Well, I can give you my number, 636-2511, or Mr. Vice President, you could give them your number, because the association doesn't have a home base as yet, but once you call any one of us, then we more or less relate the story on to our members or persons.
And you're on social media as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
544-7423. You can call us at Spanby's Driving School. My wife will answer the phone. She'll be more than happy to forward you to all of the requisite authorities and help you however we can.
Okay, wonderful stuff. Again, thank you for being here this morning. Great discussion.
Thank you.
Herman Maycock, Nathaniel Pierre, and Gigi Knowles. Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for having us.
Keep up the great work that you all are doing.
You're welcome, Mr. Strachan and Mr. Alexis.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Alexis Burrows, for being here this morning. Appreciate
Pleasure
it.
as always.
I'll see you in a few weeks. I'll be back on Monday with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Happy National Pride Day, everybody. Make sure you're wearing your flag colors today. We'll see you on Monday. Stay tuned for Aaron Green and On the Clock next.
Hey folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. Should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC has given us some trouble. Sorry folks. And Wi-Fi is out. And so is the entertainment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the smell, folks. We are aware.
I know.
Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on!
We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Atlantic agents and brokers. Good like that.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Wow, it's 35 years already. Where has the time gone? Look at where we have come from. Caribbean Gas would like to say thank you to our valuable customers and our dedicated staff. Let's celebrate this our 35th anniversary from June 16th to July 16th. We will celebrate with you. Giveaways, prizes, and surprises. If you spend $50, you are eligible to win a 100-pound cylinder, 50-inch TV, gas stove, AC unit, and much, much more. Visit us on Gladstone Road, Caribbean Gas. It's our 35th anniversary. Let's celebrate!
Put more money back in your pocket with a Fidelity debt consolidation loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity debt consolidation loan today. Call 356-77